Hmm?
You say yeah.
They don't.
Okay.
She'll find it. All right, guys.
Are we on?
We are on.
Okay, let's do that. 3, 2.
I'm already on.
I'm trying to do this one. Why isn't it time?
It is. Is
I
it?
don't know, child. Let me see.
There it is.
Let's turn the camera the other way, child.
Oh.
Child.
What's up, everybody?
I'm trying to figure this thing out. Let me get off of here. Try it again.
What's up? What's up? We are live. You are live. Let me see what it
Hey.
look like. Oh,
Okay,
I want to see
well,
what it look like.
I'm gonna do it again.
All right. Everybody, we are live. There is Erica. What's good, everybody? Y'all text somebody, tag somebody, let them know that we's are on. Excited about the conversation tonight. The conversation tonight is: can you truly forgive? Can you truly forgive? All right.
I'm thinking this has got to be this way.
Okay.
Thanks.
Are we trying to set this up for Instagram too? You gotta come in, babe.
Oh, I thought Chess was right there.
What's up, Curtis? Miss Dee Dee is on. All right. So we are trying to go live on Instagram and on Facebook. I think we got it good. Okay. I think we got it good. All right. Bet. Hey everybody. All right, y'all come on. Those of you all on Instagram, what's up? What's up?
Hey everybody.
Let's see. There we go.
Turn it
All right, y'all come on. There we go. Okay, let's. What's up? What's up?
Hey everybody.
Okay.
All right. You got it.
All right, good. You let comments right there.
Just in case I won't have the same.
Okay, whatever. I'm not live right there. I'm just on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this isn't necessary. Okay. All right. What's going on, everybody? We're gonna jump in. I want to talk first about. I know we are on. Y'all say hello if you're there. Again, if you're just joining us for the very first time, then this is Jared and Marquita.
And Marquita Williams.
With How to Make Love Work. And this is every Tuesday night. We have what is called Conversations with Jared and Marquita. Mm-hmm. We've been married for 14 years. Mm-hmm. 15 years in October.
In October, yeah.
Go ahead, babe. Tell them about us.
Oh, okay. So we've been married for 15 years in October. We have 3 children, 18, 11, and 12. Ooh, soon to be 13. And we have a pooch, a beautiful golden doodle. Let's see. I'm a realtor. He's a pastor.
So Marquita says when I'm preaching, whatever, I put my voice on.
Yeah.
But I've noticed every time we come on live, she puts this voice on.
I'm just being professional.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. What's up, Chantel?
Hey, Chantel. Hey,
Nava. What up, Nava? You put a voice on.
I do.
So I can't just say I'm being professional.
No.
So it's when you do it, it's being professional.
It's
when I'm doing it, I'm putting on.
It's a preacher's voice.
The hypocrisy. But anyway, we like to come on and introduce ourselves because perhaps you're visiting us or joining us for the very first time. But we're going to jump in and just talk. I do want to talk about the question is, so you can start chiming in now. What's up, Ebony? The question is, can you truly forgive, right? In a relationship, can you truly forgive? And I'll share what some people have said in a moment when we get into that. You can start chiming in and talking about that if you want. But I want to talk about the fact that Steph Curry's parents, Dale and Sonia, I think, after 33 years of marriage, Sonia has filed for divorce. What do you think about that?
After 33 years, it's like, why?
Yeah, you got to come up. You're behind me. You need to be behind me. Yeah.
Scoop me up. I can't move this chair. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I guess, on one hand you have, why now? You know, you've been together 33 years. You know how he is. You dealt with him for all this time. What leads you to there?
Why would you say dealt with him? I mean,
that's dealt with one another. I mean,
word.
Hey, Glenn.
What's up, Glenn?
You've been with one another for all of this time. You know your quirks, you know your likes, your dislikes, and you've built some type of bond and companionship. So why now, after 33 years, why now, um, why now do that? Why divorce? And then again, on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I've done it 33 years. I don't want to go another 33 years.
Yeah. I mean, but that can be quite devastating. Steph Curry's parents are getting divorced. The wife filed for divorce after 33 years of marriage, and I think they dated a few years before that. So it's been a long time that they've been together, and it is quite. To be quite honest with you, it is quite a blow to the union of marriage for not just because their son is famous, but because of a couple who's been together for decades decides to call it quits. Right. I mean, it really throws a monkey in the wrench for those who are looking for hope.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, what the heck? After all this time, what happened? Yeah. Or have you all have been decided this, and you're just waiting for your children to get out the house and get pretty much settled and have their own lives to do this. Yeah. Like, of course, that's none of our business, but we want to know.
And see, the other thing is that the statistics say that 70% of divorces are filed by women. Why is that? What y'all think about that? 70% of divorces are filed by women. What do y'all think about that? What's up, Jean? Jean James, what's up, sis? What do you think about that?
I mean, they like to say, well, women are just emotional creatures, and we just become so tired and emotionally drained and stressed. We're not emotional creatures, I would say, in a derogatory sense, but the time comes where you're just like, I don't have to settle, or I don't have to put up or continue to compromise with if I don't want to.
But that is to say that she had to do all of the put up with, settling, or compromise.
That's not to say that. That's just speaking on her behalf.
Well, you can't speak on her behalf.
I'm just for a woman in general.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm saying that's often the sentiment that it's him.
It could
and she doesn't have to settle anymore, and she doesn't have to put up with that anymore, and she doesn't have to deal with him anymore. It's like that's one-sided.
Yeah, but it could be her. If you want to look at it on the other side, she could just not be wanting to actually be married anymore. She could just want her own space, want to be by herself. She may feel as if she wants companionship from time to time, but to actually be committed to somebody and having to deal with them on a day or live with them on a day-to-day basis, consult them for every single thing, or what whatever may be weighing on her, she may not want that anymore. Or maybe him, he may not want that anymore. He may not want to have to deal with just coming home to somebody, that same person all the time, day after day.
All right, Erica says they get to a point where they feel like they no longer have to be there, endure, or maybe even suffer through this anymore. Okay. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, even with what you just shared. I think without being conscious, maybe men and women, but now what I'm hearing tonight is that it's bent towards the same direction. It's bent towards it's a bend towards the gender of the person who's talking about it.
The person who filed?
No. Like when you're talking about it, it seems to be bent towards the female gender. Erica's talking about it seems to be bent towards. Well, I guess it's not bent towards hers general. But I'm saying. I mean, I guess if a man talks about it, maybe bent towards his, a man's
because he's speaking from a man's perspective, just right, like me.
Yeah.
She want to go out, girl. You do this every video.
All right, so what else we need to talk about? Before we get into our conversation.
Oh, we have an activity coming up. Go to the How to Make Love Work YouTube page and our social media pages on IG and Facebook, and look for a post that says, "Tell us your love story." One of our team members posted on there. We're requesting that you guys send a 2 to 10 minute video of explaining how you guys met and all the good details. And we're going to decide who has the best story, and then we're going to send you a prize.
Yes. So we will put in the link here where to send that to. I mean, where to register, because you can register right here.
It's on my phone.
It's okay, I got it. Okay. You can register right here and just tell us your story and be as creative. There are prizes: first prize, second prize, third prize winners for that particular activity. All right. Other than that, are we ready for the topic for the night?
Yes. Let's get into the juiciness.
All right, let's go.
So, do you ever truly forgive someone, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's just a conflict? Let us know. Type yes, no, and explain why. I'll give you my answer right off the bat.
You can give you no. Wait.
Oh, you want me to hold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold it. Just hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. All right. I just put the
Really?
I didn't mean to put all that in there. Okay. I just put the did I put it in there? There you go. I just put the link in there. All right. So let me share what some people have said as relates to can you actually, I mean, do you really truly forgive? Somebody says, truly, no. I forgive just enough to make it through and enough not to be angry. But completely forgive, no. All right? Somebody else said, yes, and move on. Somebody else said, no, I hold on to it and try to move on. All right, so we got 2 no's and 2 move-ons.
That's hard. You hold on to it and try to move on.
That's what he said? I hold on to it and try to move on?
That's what you just read.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy, isn't it?
I hold on to it and try to move on. And it's like, how do you do that? That's like, beating somebody over the head while they trying to move forward. You just say, keep going. Don't.
What up, Jeremiah? All right, so since you said that, let me go find it.
Hey, brother. Yeah, so I don't know if you can ever really truly forgive, child.
So here's what somebody else says. Somebody else says, you can forgive but not forget.
You know, a lot of people said that to me. You can forgive and not forget.
You can forgive but not forget. All right, we'll get into that in a second.
Yes.
I'm sorry, babe. You can forgive but not forget. All right, so somebody else says this. Erica says, okay. Yes, you can truly forgive with time. All right, Chantel. Chantel says you can truly forgive with time. Explain to me, Chantel, and us, the significance of the time. Significance of the time.
Yes, right. Now, you will never forget it. That's true. You will never forget it. It's always going to be there.
Somebody else says, people think when you forgive, you got to forget as if it never happened. It happened, I forgive, and move on. Okay? All right.
I think that's the whole, that piece there about moving on. I think that's a lot of people's fallback, because it's like, I want to see you suffer. I want you to know, I want you to sit in what you did or what you said.
All right, somebody else says, yes, if you really want to move forward in your current situation, and because if you not going to forgive, it's no need of moving forward, because it will always surface again. So I say yes. This is a person said, I say yes if you really want to move forward in your current situation. Because if you are not going to forgive, there's no need to move forward, because it's going to always surface again. You understand that? All right, somebody else says, forgive, no. Move on, yes. You get that? Forgive, no. Move on, yes. So Chantel says some things need more prayer, patience, counseling, and actions leading into the opposite direction. Okay?
towards forgiveness, the opposite direction, turning towards. Okay.
Opposite direction from what happened to forgiveness. Somebody else says, forget never. So here's that whole thing. Forgive, no. Move on, yes. Forget, never. I'm going to give you that again. This is what somebody else says. Forgive, no. Move on, yes. Forget, never. All right. Hey, Shayla.
A lot of you feel like, when you say, I forgive you, and I move on, it's there. It's in the back of your mind. And you remember it. It's just, it's not in the back of your mind. It's there. It's at the forefront of your mind. Every time you see that person, you say you forgive them, but every time you see that person, you remember what they did. And
so that's kin to what Shayla said. I think some offenses are more difficult to forgive than others.
True.
I also feel that out of sight helps to get to the place of forgiveness.
That's it.
So that's what you agree with?
Yeah, because it's like out of sight, out of mind. But then if I see you, I remember it. And if I have to see you on a regular basis, it's like, I remember. I know you're the person that did X, Y, Z. So I remember it. And I filter the way I deal with you, the way I talk with you, any interaction we have. I filter that through the fact that the hurt.
So how do you do that with somebody that you decide to stay with?
I don't know. I don't think I did it.
Because according to this, again, how are you going to move on if you don't forgive? And if the person says, if you got to keep replaying it, then it becomes miserable.
Right, for both parties. Both parties.
So listen, I'm watching and listening on my phone and typing on Facebook. For some reasons, the video is not coming up on my PC. Oh, I'm not sure what's happening with that. Nava says, you need this shirt?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ebony says sometimes interaction can't be avoided. Right. So what do you do? So again, that's two different situations. According to your situation, you have to say bye, get out. I'm gone. I've cut you off, in order for me to forgive.
For some people, yeah.
And then, like according to Ebony, or according to the other person who said, if you're going to decide to stay with that person, then you have to forgive, and so that you can continue to go forward with the relationship.
I mean, how do... Okay. But it's, I guess, when I see that, it's like, yes, you do have to forgive in order to go forward with the relationship truly. So that's the test.
What?
You have to truly forgive in order to move forward in the relationship. But the test comes when, like I said, you have to see this person, interact with this person on a daily basis. How do you separate or not filter your interactions through the hurt?
All right, somebody else said this. Both parties talk it out and conclude within themselves with whatever happened. But when someone hurts you that you love, they think it's impossible to forgive them, but you can move on.
Ebony says forgive out of necessity because it's not for the offender in the first place.
So forgiveness is for you. All right, got that? What Erica says, heard. I'm sorry. So,
Kashif says same here.
All right, what's up, Kashif? All right. So here's my thought, right? The word forgive means to pardon. The original word forgive means to pardon.
Which means to excuse.
Which means to, yes, that's a good word. It means to excuse. So that's what forgiveness requires. It requires to excuse. So here's my issue. Y'all help me out. It seems as if every time I've asked somebody about forgiveness, they have to bring up for remembering or forgetting. Like, why is that a correlation? If I say, can you forgive somebody? Most people say, I'll forgive, but I'm going to never forget. Why do we have to bring or intertwine the whole forget or not to forget piece?
A lot of people can't separate it.
All right. Marquita, Erica says, stop singing that song. Okay. Shayla says, I think you don't forget, but don't put all your energy on the memory of the offense.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
I personally get flashbacks of the offense, and I have to shake it off and not dwell on it, I am not with that person. Okay?
Yeah. Because
so what happens when you are with the person? What happens when you are still with the person? Here's what I think that we are dealing with. Right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying it can be some serious trauma there. Like she said, she gets flashbacks. It could be some serious trauma. If it's not dealt with, then there goes the wall. That could be built up, and you're trying to still cultivate a relationship, but you have a wall up because you did this, you said that, and you offended me.
So I think that most people, I don't think that the whole interlocking the forget piece it's important, but it's saying what everybody I think keeps missing. That Chantel said it's difficult to forget significant things in life. Yes, I think that what most people have an okay, most people are okay with forgiving, excusing, but most people are not okay with moving on. Because moving on is what's difficult. We often actually suppress what happened so that we won't have to deal with it and process it. We've forgiven, we've pardoned the offense or the person. No. We pardoned the person, but we have not processed the offense. That makes sense?
Yeah, but I just think sometimes that's not true. Because sometimes you don't pardon the person.
I think we pardon the person easier than we pardon the act. Because often we stay with the person. Not often, but sometimes, a lot of times we stay with the person, especially if you get married.
Yeah.
You pardon the person, but you don't get over the act. So when people say, I'll never forget, it's because
they're allowing it to still pierce and hurt them.
And most people don't actually sit with what happened and process it and deal with it. We often simply suppress it. And suppresses it means that it's going to surface eventually and unexpectedly. And it becomes a trigger, a landmine, actually. It becomes a landmine throughout your life. Because I pardoned the person because I wanted to be with the person. I wanted this relationship to work. And in order to do that, like people say, forgive and just move on. We say move on, but we never do. Part of us stays right there until we actually deal with it, until we actually process it, whether that is in therapy, prayer, writing it out, talking it out. Because if you don't, it ain't gonna go nowhere.
No, it's gonna like it is. It's gonna stay right here at the forefront of your mind.
Kashif says, "I can't see y'all, but I believe that forgiveness is a day." What happened? You can't see us?
I don't know. That's the second person.
He says, "But I believe that forgiveness is a daily intentional process that involves saying the words I forgive, to not give any space to anything else." And over time, doing that, I believe true forgiveness starts with you first. If you break up the words for and give, I think about before, give, or give before you are given unto. Okay? Because you'd be waiting forever if you're waiting on someone else to make a move.
You first. That's very, very profound.
That's good. John Thomas, hey, Mr. John, says, easy to forgive with the mouth, but what about the heart? Very good. And that's why we don't, that's why we say it. We say it to move on. We say it to just, let's just move on because we rather suppress it. We rather sweep it up under the rug. We don't want to process it. We don't want to deal with it. And processing it is dealing with our emotions. What is happening with us with what happened. You know what I mean? And I don't want to, most people don't want to deal with, I am insecure. Most people want to deal with, you made me feel insecure.
Right. That's punishing the other person.
But that is a lie. A person don't make you do anything. You feel secure, creating bondage. Erica says, it's the emotional attachment to the offense that causes the difficulty to forget and even to forgive. That's very good. You all right?
That's good.
Okay.
The emotional attachment, that's what weighs on your heart.
Right.
And then it replays over and over, and then that starts to fester, and you contemplate: did I really forgive this person? Should I really forgive this person?
And it's the emotional attachment that lingers because most times we have not dealt with that emotional attachment. We haven't even identified.
I was going to say dealing with it, identifying it first. But some people don't know how to deal with it.
And what is the emotional attachment? I mean, not attachment. What is the emotion? What am I feeling? Do I feel betrayed? Do I feel hurt? Do I feel insecure? Do I feel belittled? Do I feel abandoned? What do I feel? And to actually identify what you feel is the first step, and to say that I feel that, not you made me feel that way. I was
going to say, like you said, take a look into you first, because we're big to say, can't nobody make me do nothing, can't nobody make me do this. Okay, if someone says something, why does that hurt you? If someone does something that you didn't approve of or that you don't like, why does that offend you?
Right.
Because you feel what when this happens.
Right. Not you made me feel this when that happened. No, I feel this when that happens. Melanie says, hey, Melanie says, forgiveness forces you to deal with you first. Yes. And so I don't even know if we actually truly forgive, because when you say forgive, let's just move on, I think we just try to move on.
Yeah.
Or not even just try to move on, but we try to ignore it as if it never happened. I love you, or whether I love you or not, I want to be with you. It happened. I'm not going to allow myself to. People say I'm not going to allow myself to get down, or I'm not going to allow myself to get into that. Let's just. You did it. Thank you for acknowledging it. Let's move on. And that is going to come up very, very soon.
Yeah, I'm looking at this comment. Men are very slow when it comes to dealing with reality. Sonia made the move. All right. Who is Sonia? And why do you feel men are very slow when it comes to dealing with reality? I don't think that's a fair statement. I think it just depends on the maturity of. Coach S. I think it depends on the maturity of the gender, male or female. It depends on the person.
Yeah, because I would venture to say that I am quicker to want to deal with the reality.
Yeah, because like in our case, my husband will, okay, let's address it, and I'm like, give me a minute, or let's just not talk about it.
Yeah, because even with whatever the offense is, you are not to blame for the offense, but whatever the offense is, it did something in you, and that's what you're dealing with.
Right.
You're not only dealing with what the person did, but you're dealing with what the person did that caused something in you
to trigger,
rather to trigger an emotion.
Right.
And that emotion is usually tied to a number of other offenses before this offense. And now all those offenses, perhaps that you've never dealt with, along with this added offense, becomes an explosion.
Right.
And perhaps, which is toxic, if you just want to deal with this person, let's just move on. Don't talk about it. Don't bring it up to me. I don't ever hear about it. Block this person. Block that person. We move into another city. Change your number. All of that are ways to suppress.
Right. Suppress and skate past. Or just not, like I said, not give attention to.
Good. Look at Michelle says, my situation revealed a lot about me that I was unaware of. Although this person was wrong in how he handled me, I had to dig deep through therapy to figure out why I was attracting the same type of situation. Yes. And here's what happens. We often attract the same person with simply a different face and social security number, but the same person, because we begin to train people how to treat us.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, Elbow. It definitely not easy. Listening, looking in, then facing yourself. It's not. It's
Yeah.
really not. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Because you have to come to grips with this is what's going on the inside of me. This is me.
Right.
And sometimes I don't like what I see. When I turn the mirror on me, I sometimes like, ooh, is that really how I deal with it? Is that really how I respond? Is that really how I am?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the question is, do we truly forgive? Tamika, hey, what's up? Evening. Can y'all see us? I know 2 people said that they couldn't actually see us. So somebody tell me if y'all can actually see us or not. So the question is, are you pondering on the question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
the question is, do we truly forgive? So going back to the original question.
It's hard to but shortcomings.
Read out loud for everybody.
Hard to face yourself and your shortcomings, but it is so imperative. So it is. It's very imperative for growth and for maturity, and for you to know, what triggers you, what you will allow in your space, in your mind, in your life, and what you can compromise with in a relationship with someone else. I know this about me. However, it's not detrimental to me, and it won't be detrimental to our relationship. Therefore, this is something I can compromise in.
Okay, good. All right, good. All right, so are y'all okay?
What does Kashif say?
Kashif says, if you don't deal with
one relationship,
deal with it in one relationship or marriage, it will come out in the next.
Yes.
I think that forgiveness is something that you will walk in daily.
That's very good. That's very true.
Yeah, forgiveness is
it's a battle in the mind.
Yeah, it's a choice, because what you're battling is the emotions that come up.
Right.
And when you feel those emotions, you start wrestling within yourself, and it's like, you did this to me, and you play it all over again, and
you ready to
now I don't forgive you right now. In this moment, I don't forgive you now because my emotions won.
Right. I'm highly perturbed.
Will you speak a little more on how one trains people on how to deal with you? Por favor. Go ahead. You want to tackle that?
It's really, I guess it's akin to like what I just said. If you're in a relationship with someone, and you notice that there are certain things that you like, certain things that you dislike, when you're communicating or just living day by day, just experiencing it and being with one another. You talk about those things, you share, no matter how uncomfortable it is. If this is the person that you chose to be with, you have to be vulnerable, and you have to let them know, these are the things that I notice that makes me uncomfortable, or that trigger certain reactions out of me that don't feel good, that I don't like. And these type of conversations need to be had. They're not cliche. They're not. It may feel like you're walking on eggshells at times, because you're just uncomfortable. But you have to. These are not. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Some people think like that's
optional.
No, not optional. Like it's frowned upon. Like, and that's gay. Or that's they say because you're having a heart to heart. Unnecessary. Thank you, child. They are necessary. I mean, some people say that. But yeah, they're necessary to have for the health of your relationship, for the health of yourself, and for the health of your companion. They need to know what it is that I do that may trigger something in my companion, and vice versa. What is it that my companion does? What does my companion do that I notice may trigger something in me because of whatever deep-rooted and deep-seated event or traumatic? It don't even have to be something traumatic. It just, I know I ate too many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But every time she cooked, bring Jif in the house, I just, ugh.
Right, but the longer you don't process it or deal with it, the more it ticks over into the category of trauma.
Right.
If you don't deal with it, it can be just as simple as peanut butter. But if you don't deal with it, if you don't process it, then it becomes trauma.
Right.
And then trauma always becomes triggering throughout your life.
Correct.
So with Erica asking, what's up, Jazz? Erica asking, how do you train people to treat you? What you will need to know is that all of us has insecurities that we come to every relationship with. We have traumas that we come to every relationship with, and we have ways to deal with them and to protect ourselves.
And some of those ways are not healthy.
Right. And so the next person, I'm with a new person now, and I think they're totally different from the last person, and perhaps they are, but I'm the same person. Mm-hmm. And so whatever those insecurities are that are probably even now more magnified after I just got out of this relationship, mm-hmm. I'm going to protect myself from them, right? And so there are going to be things that I'm going to make sure you don't do, or make sure there is no whiff of it happening. Mm-hmm. And thus, when I start acting in that particular way, you're going to start responding to me in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And more than likely, I'm controlling how I want you to respond to me, so that I don't get hurt in that situation. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the same way I did with the last relationship and the last relationship and the last relationship. Mm-hmm. I reacted or responded in a certain way that I got the same response from everybody because of my insecurity. Right? Like, say, for instance, and this is a whole other conversation for another day, but I learned that we've been together for 14 years, almost 15. Well, we've been together for 16 years, been married for almost 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I've not ever really, and this is going to sound goofy, but I've not ever, or drastic, but I've never really trusted my wife. And it's not that my wife has given me any reason not to trust her. My wife has been gracious. Listen to this. My wife has been gracious enough to rock with me mm-hmm. through my insecurities of not trusting. Unconsciously. Here's why I say that. Because I've never had to trust my wife. Mm-hmm. Because I've always controlled. I've never thought that I've controlled my wife, but I've controlled situations. Right. I've controlled my mind. I've controlled the settings I was on, and I was in control. And when you're in control, you don't have to trust. That's what I mean. And since I've always been in control of whatever the case may be, then I never really had to trust. It's only when you're totally out of control that you have to trust. Right? So let me give you two scenarios. Like,
so good. I guess, like, listening to that is so good, because it's not that you don't trust me, but I
don't trust.
Right.
Period.
You don't trust. Period.
Right. Mm-hmm. So if my wife is going to the store, mm-hmm. Marquita's going to the store. Okay. She says she's going to Dillard's, right? And I know where Dillard's is. I know how long it takes to get to Dillard's. So I've already calculated how long it's going to take for her to get there. And then I know my wife. My wife's going to go get to Dillard's, and she says, I'm going to buy this thing. I know to buy that one thing means 2.5 hours. So, okay, cool. I've calculated how long it takes to get to Dillard's, how long she's going to be there for 2.5 hours to get a pair of stockings. Anyway, and then I know how long it's going to take for her to get back. And she may grab something to eat. So I'm calculating all of that. How long she's going to be gone.
Hence, controlling everything.
Right. So my mind my mind does not have to get in anxiety unless she goes outside of the calculation. Right. The calculation was she's going to be there, and I've calculated no matter what she tells me. She may tell me I'll be back in 15 minutes. I know that means this amount of time. So I've calculated that, and I calculated maybe she got to stop here, and she's going to be back. And as long as she stays within that controlled calculation, I don't have to trust. Because I'm controlling my mind. I'm controlling my anxiety. Mm-hmm. But if you go to 3 other places, I call and, hey, I'm at Sam's Club. You told me you were going to Dillard's. Mm-hmm. So, because now that throws my calculation off.
Right. It's like, I done been there. Like Tamika said, what? We're going to Dillard's, Walmart, Target, 5 and below, everywhere. Yeah.
But that throws my calculation off And so now I'm like, okay, well, because now my distrust starts showing because because I'm getting my controlled environment is out of control. Because now I'm thinking, okay, well, if you're at Sam's Club when I called, you told me you're only going to Dillard's, then why would you not tell me you were going to Sam's Club? What's happening now? So now the paranoia is setting in because I'm not in control of what's happening. All right. It's like I remember like when my wife went to a class reunion and she went on a cruise. It wasn't until she got on that cruise that I realized I couldn't reach her by phone. I was okay with her going on the cruise because I could still have some control of me by being able to call. So I can call, okay, cool, but, I'm good. That was the control that I had. But then when I realized I could not call her, and now I'm out of control. I don't know what's happening at what time. I don't know where she's going, who she's around, if she's okay, because protection mode comes in and insecurity mode comes in. I'm trying to protect her and I'm insecure all at the same time. It wasn't until then, and then I didn't know when she was going to be back. And then when she got back off the cruise, she went to her hometown for a few hours, and so that all that was just totally off. So that was 3 or 4 days.
Got to put the calculator down.
Right, that was like 3 or 4 days. By 3 or 4 days or more of me being out of control, and that was pure anxiety, pure paranoia because of my distrust.
Right.
And so that was an insecurity. And here's the reality. Now, I'm telling my story being transparent, but it's many of us, male and female. Tamika, put the calculator down yourself. Male and female that do the same thing. Now, that was an insecurity that I brought into the relationship. So if I'm fussing and carrying on because my calculations and my control is out of control, and I'm giving that to Marquita.
That's adding anxiety. Now you're putting the anxiety on me.
And now the fuss that you give me back was the same fuss that the last girl gave me.
Right.
It was the same fuss that gave me.
Right.
And that's because I was giving them all the same thing, and I was training them all how to react to me because of my issue that I kept bringing in every relationship. That was a long answer.
But it is needed because it gave shed.
What up, Pastor James?
Glenn, O2.
Yeah, she won't be going to another O2.
Whatever. They talking about O2, baby.
Now again, that's me being transparent with mine. But trust and believe, Marquita has her laundry list of insecurities that she brought into the relationship, and I have my laundry list of insecurities that I brought into the relationship.
It's part of the baggage that people bring.
And because of that, there's a certain way that we're going to respond or react to our personal problems. And we want you to respond a certain way, but in all actuality, usually that is negative that we get. And so, boom, I done trained you how to do that person, this person. So that's a long answer to Erica. That's a long answer to your question, but that's the answer because we all have to deal with that. We all have to deal with that.
We're all faced with it, and then the fact that you can now recognize it. Now you can say, okay, what is it about me that won't allow me to trust? Period. Not just my companion, but anything. I need to make sure I know. When is this going to happen? What time? How long? Blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's a fight because now you have to start recognizing this about yourself and then relinquishing some of that control, letting it go.
By trusting.
Right.
But knowing them and being accountable is huge.
That is huge.
It is, but you have to be careful with the first two words. But knowing them, because the knowing them helps one have control. When I say, I know you, that means that I know how you're going to react. I know how you're going to do. I know what's going to happen. I know what you're going to do or not going to do. That is putting the control back in your corner.
Yet it can help you to trust that this person is not intentionally putting themselves in any type of situations that'll send your anxiety through the roof.
It can help. The reason why I even say anything about it at all is because you have to understand that people do evolve. People change. So what you knew may not.
People what?
Huh?
People what?
Things evolve.
You got no
people grow. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
People are not the same.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're who they are doesn't change, but the things that they like, things that they don't like, the things that they are tempted with, things that
we
are
adjust throughout our lives.
right. Mm-hmm. And so, because again, I think I've said this almost every week. Who we both were at early 20s,
not the same.
We're not the same at our late 30s. Mm-hmm. And so I could say, oh, I know her. But in all actuality, I knew her. Mm-hmm. And if I have not grown with your growth,
right,
and adjusted with your adjustments, and then I don't know you anymore. Okay. And so for me to say that, because that no says that puts me back in control, because I know you're not going to do this. I know you're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. And the all actuality is it's more I trust that you're not going to do this.
Right.
And I trust that you're not going to do
That's
that.
What I was
or I trust that you are going to do this, and I trust that you are going to do
because even with me knowing your insecurities, it's still you gotta trust that my word is my bond. You have to trust my actions, what I've shown you. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to forgive, if I made a mistake.
Okay, she said I meant knowing what your insecurities are.
Yes, and if if I've made a mistake and we've discussed it and you've forgiven me, we have to trust that mistake died there.
You know, like using the word mistake.
Okay, well, that choice died there.
Right.
If I chose to do something that offended you, mm-hmm. and we talked about it, I apologize. Mm-hmm. Then you have to trust that. Okay, I chose, and I asked for your forgiveness, and I vowed or whatever to not intentionally do this to you.
Right. So going back to our original conversation with, do you truly forgive? It's a fight of trust and emotions.
It is.
Because perhaps I trusted you, and now you made a choice to do such and so. Forgiveness says to me, whether it does or not, but it says to a person, I now have to trust you. Mm-hmm. And that's hard because my emotions seem not to want to allow myself to trust again. And basically doesn't want to allow myself to be vulnerable with you in that area again. And so I believe that people can fully or truly forgive if they are willing to deal with it and themselves. Move on is not the answer. No. Move on is a pseudo escape, as you said.
Right. I was going to say it's an escape. Even if you two agree to squash this here or to let it die here, it still needs to be addressed. It still needs to,
even if it's personally addressed, even if you have to address it,
if
personally.
It's something within me, it needs to be like some have gone through therapy, prayer, fasting, whatever, whatever mechanism you need. You have to go through that process. You have to talk about it or address it, however you do that. You have to address it so that it won't. If something does rear its ugly head, it's not a trigger for you to where your emotions will just glare, if that makes sense.
It does. Tamika says it's a fight as well, trying to get your partner to share those insecurities. It is.
That's the uncomfortable part. That's another part of the uncomfortable part. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, some have a wall up, or some feel as if I'm not going to give you too much control. I'm not going to give you too much of me.
I'm not going to be that vulnerable.
Right.
So that you can know my weaknesses.
Right. Because that's giving you control.
Right.
In their mind.
Which is pride, which is ego, and all of that. Huh?
It can simply also just
and fear.
Be fear.
Good. Mm-hmm. And all of that all those things are detrimental to a relationship.
It is. Very much so. Very much so.
And so
can you ever really truly trust someone? I believe you can.
It's a choice.
Forgive someone. I was going to say, I believe you can if you choose to. Just know that with that choice comes an extra work in order for you to be able to maturely and honestly and truly forgive someone. Now, you won't. If the statement is true, you may never forget it unless, you get Alzheimer's or dementia or something. But you may never forget the offense. Right. That doesn't mean you have to forgive. Right. That doesn't mean that you haven't forgiven. And even if you never forget it, you don't have to operate through that filtered offense. Like, I know what you did, so right. I'm gonna feed you with a long-handled spoon. Right. I'm gonna stay with you. Right. It's gonna be filtered through what you did. Right. You're not gonna get 2 scoops of mashed potatoes. You're gonna get 1 this evening. Just little small stuff like that. And
here's what I believe is a test to whether you've truly forgiven. Now, I may be wrong, and somebody can help me out. I believe that the test of whether you've truly forgiven is because you don't forget and it comes back up in your mind. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have the same sting or pain to it. You can talk about it 90, you can talk about it all day long after you've truly forgiven, and it doesn't still have the same sting or pain towards it, and you're not still protecting yourself from, quote unquote, anybody doing it again.
And sometimes, I can speak for just people that have been hurt before. Sometimes it's like, it's out of sight, out of mind. But when it's brought up, or if that person resurfaces around, and you get to the point where you're like, I really want to, I still want to hurt this person. Mm-hmm. You need some more work.
You need some more work.
I'm a witness. I'm a witness too. Yeah. This is my testimony, child. Because some people you still want to hurt. Yeah. It's like, I thought I have, but I haven't. Yeah. That don't mean you have to be around them to test yourself every day.
No, it doesn't.
End up in jail.
Right.
That's not good.
What a Aranetta? Arenetta's on Instagram.
Hey, sister.
All right. So Kashif says, unforgiveness is like a weed in your garden. Mm-hmm. If it's not treated, it'll only grow deeper at the root. When addressing weeds, you gotta address it at the root instead of chopping it off at the top, because it'll keep coming back.
That is
so say, good, I'll move on. That's good, Kashif. We're just gonna move on. We're not bringing this up. It's just cutting it off at the top, but it's still there and it's going to grow. And the longer you let it grow, the stronger it gets. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep. All right. And the harder the task becomes to letting it go.
Yeah. So this is good.
It's really good.
This is good.
If you guys have some topics that you guys want us to talk about, DM us or email us. You put type the email in there. We'll type the email in the comments so you guys can email us. We want to know. We want to know what's on your mind.
Here's what I wanted to say as well. So when even Kashif says that you have to, what'd you do?
I ain't do nothing. Just went away.
Kashif says that when addressing weeds, you got to address it at the root. And here's what you will find at the root. You will find you at the root. You won't find the person who did something to you at the root. You find them at the surface. What you'll find at the root is you. Now, you may be whatever may have happened to you by someone else far before this person. But you're definitely going to find you at the root. And you're not, let me make sure I'm clear. You're not the problem. You're not to blame, but you're going to find you, the you who has not dealt with some things that you did, or some things that happened to you that was not your fault. well before this relationship, and you got to deal with those things.
Sorry, Instagrammer.
Yeah. So, yeah, Tamika says, let me get my list together. Yeah, get your list together and email us. I just put the email in there. Y'all go ahead and like the email so I know that y'all can see the email. The email is htmlw, how to make love work, at 10106.com. So we've got 3 more minutes. We're not going to hold y'all no longer. We're going to always try to get into that hour block. Just let us know what you all think about what we talked about tonight. Mm-hmm. And those of you all who've been rocking with us every week, thank you so much. Just kind of let us know what you guys have been thinking. What's your thoughts? Is this working? Right. Is this not working? Is helping? Mm-hmm. Are you guys actually going back and talking to your mates about this? Y'all talk to us. All right, Instagram's back on. That's what's up. All right.
You two in Instagram world.
Sparkle.
Hey, Sparkle.
What's
How
up?
are you? O2 checking in.
That's O2? Who is Sparkle?
My cousin.
Okay, cool. All right, so while y'all are doing that, remember now, we have an activity that's coming up that's called Tell Us Your Love Story.
That's to submit a 2 to 10 minute video, and I'll make sure we post the link too on Instagram. A 2 to 10 minute video. It could be you and your companion. Let us know how you guys met and what do you do and all the instructions, all that stuff. That'll be included. So send it to us because we have first, second, and third prizes, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, first, second, and third prizes. We're gonna get our team together. We're gonna watch the videos and we're gonna decide which are the best.
Yes. All right. Shayla says, "Love the discussion. Thank you. Yay. Thank you.
Tamika said, "Let me get my list together."
Yes, get the list together.
Yes, girl.
Let us know what y'all want to talk about. And perhaps you may think, well, you and your mate have not been able to discuss this freely or, I don't know, intelligently discuss this without arguing. Then send it to us and we can discuss it together. Not that we have the intelligence to discuss it, but it's an open forum. All of us will discuss it together and we can help you guys actually figure that particular topic out.
Yeah. I think this is very helpful. Loving the conversation. Okay.
All right. You gotta let everybody know what you're whispering about, baby.
Oh, I'm reading Instagram comments.
Let everybody hear that comment.
I think this is very helpful. Loving the conversation.
Awesome. Okay,
I wasn't able to interact as much because I'm cleaning the kitchen, but I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's discussion. Yes. All right, Miss Ebony.
Clean that kitchen.
I know that's right.
All right. So thank y'all. Share this. Share. Please, if y'all could help us do 2 things. Share this live and also run over to YouTube, How to Make Love Work, how the number 2 make love work, and subscribe there. Please subscribe there. There's a lot of stuff coming that you guys need to be abreast of and be involved in. So please share this particular live wherever you are on Instagram or on Facebook. And also make sure you go over to YouTube very quickly and hit the notification bell, the subscribe button, so that you can be notified of what's happening and you can be abreast of what's going on our YouTube channel. All right, guys, we love y'all. We're going to sign off. It's 9:30, so that means that we are at our hour mark. We hate to go, but we got to go.
Yes, because I'm hungry.
Yeah, we got to go. All right, so let's salute off. We've been doing that. And we'll see y'all. Oh, wait, Rakia says, I need to set a reminder. I forgot and missed it tonight. Rewind it. Rakia be on it.
Yes, girl.
So you got to watch it back, Rakia. It's 8:30 every single Tuesday night. Every single Tuesday night, it's 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So rewind it. And Rakia, we're going to go back on it and see what you said. We're going to go right back on and see what you said. We definitely want to hear what Rakia has to say. Yeah. All right, guys, we're signing off. Love y'all.
Bye, y'all. Okay. Bye, Instagram. Look, now I don't know how to end it. I guess it's that.
Probably. Bye. What's up? Hey, y'all. Hey, and bye.